And Bill, you know the old joke about how you make $1 million in the restaurant industry, right?
Start with 2 million.
Start with 2 million, right? One of the biggest reasons why that I've seen people not make it is because they didn't have a relationship with their sales rep or the distributor, not just a relationship. They might be their friends, but understand both business models, yours completely and theirs completely, and then everything else upstream. There are not many places to go except to the distributors or suppliers that you're buying from to ask for help.
What are the one or two things that operators should understand or think about to help them continue with some stable, fair pricing out there?
What I started doing after about the second year being in the business, when I started to understand the business model, I had a customer tell me after we renegotiated basically or negotiated for the next year, sort of the markup over cost. The owner of the company, again, he came from outside the restaurant business, a very successful and just had sold his company for $20 million and really was a great business person. And now here we were at this negotiating meeting. The owner of the company and my sales manager were with me. And I'm just a rookie greenhorn into this learning. At lunch break, he put me in his car and said, "Hey, Dave, ride with me. We're all going to lunch." They got in the sort of the company van at the corporate office and we're riding to one of the stores to eat lunch. And he asked me if I would ride with him down to the restaurant. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, the boss, and the owner of the company should be riding with you, not me, whatever. No, I want to talk to you." And so when we were riding down the hill in Pittsburgh, he asked me, "Would you rather have 10% of $2 or would you rather have 10% of $1.80?" Because the 10% was a markup for the center of the plate. And I'm like, "Oh, trick question. I would rather have 10% of $2. And he said, "What incentive does your company have to buy it for $1.80? And I'm, "Oh, no. They would always get the best price on everything. Just, he goes, think about what you're saying. It's business, Dave. I mean, come on. You just said you would rather have 10% of $2 than $1.80. Here's the bottom line. Joe, my accountant that didn't come from this world, he figured out what the chicken breast should cost based on what we have our menu price set at, the portion size we're selling, the profit that we want to make comes up to, we should pay X amount for the chicken breast. Do you think that you could maybe lock in the price that we need to pay? It was like $2.28 or something a pound back then. And instead of you trying to buy it and me and you arguing about if they're going to do the right thing and get the best price and all that, we know what we should pay based on the money that we want to make. And I saw it's not the way it's done. There's the Chicago Mercantile, they trade all that stuff every day. There's a market every day that changes. And he goes, "I know." He goes, "Do you think that you can talk some supplier of yours and you can talk your company in on that one item, if that they could lock that price in for 6 months at a time so that we don't have to worry about our profit margin every week as it goes up and down?" And I said, "Well, I'll try, but that's not the way it's done." Long story short, I told them all the way back, what he said, and it made common sense to me for an operator to want that deal. And it made common sense that if we had that deal locked in to keep the business, because they were buying a lot of stuff from us, that if we could talk, a supplier, a manufacturer of chicken, that he used, there was plenty of them out there, lock that price in for 6 months without making us buy 6 months supply at that price to keep that price, when it was down. Now, some distributors do that. So anyway, we found a chicken manufacturer that started doing that. And so anyway, it worked. So then we took the next item and the next item and then eventually the top 10. So people always say, "Where do you start?" Well, find out what you use the most of, right? Your most costly item. Start with that and start talking, having that dialogue with your distributor. It's not easy to get this done because a lot of people have to understand what you're saying. Like, well, if the market goes down, they won't buy it at the higher price. And if the market goes up, then we're going to be stuck, and everybody gets weirded out of who's going to get stuck instead of everybody trying to make money together. And the point of all of that is that you need to figure as an independent operator what the target price is that you should be paying. So no matter what distributor comes in and whatever the market is, that you should be able to forecast what's going to happen to your profit at your joint based on what you're paying for. At least where do you start with your 10 most sold items instead of all 500 of them? And then work on all of them. All of them you need to do that with. You should have a target rate. But where do you start? Start with your most costly, your most used items, and at least have that figured. So will you ever talk anybody into guaranteeing your price for 6 months at a time or even a month at a time or whatever, an independent operator? Pretty tough unless you have a distributor that thinks the same way. But at least you'll know why you're losing money and why you're making money. And if you can get that price, because if you're buying it for less than your target, you're going to make more money. If you have to pay more for it, you're going to make less money. And I think that that's one of the most simple, basic things that I've learned about our industry of why people make money and why they lose money is that some people just luck out and have their menu priced right and have a relationship and they just sort of go on and the market sort of are the gods for them.
Right.
That's no way to run a business.
Yeah. Hope is not a strategy, right?
Right.
Right.